Tomorrow, the Republican majority intends to bring a contempt resolution to the floor against the Attorney General. To say that this is a terrible use of Congress's power and time is an understatement. I'm disgusted and disappointed as a member of Congress and a former federal prosecutor that what began as a legitimate investigation into flawed gun trafficking operations under two administrations has now morphed into a partisan hunt for the scalp of a senior administration official. The group that has come together here includes former prosecutors and attorneys and members with long histories of working on criminal justice issues. And we are united in our belief that the contempt resolution against the Attorney General is a lamentable distraction from the very real and destructive impact of gun trafficking. With a focus on fast and furious and wide receiver, we have lost sight of the forest for the trees. The reality is that Mexican drug cartels continue to use the United States as their armory in the war, a very literal war against one another, the Mexican government and innocent civilians. Since 2007, of the 99,000 trace requests placed by the Mexican government for guns recovered by Mexican law enforcement, 2/3 have been found to come from the United States. While on the one hand accusing the Attorney General and senior Justice Department officials of knowing allowing guns to walk into Mexico, the House Republicans have taken no steps to do anything about the underlying problem. In fact, they have actively stood in the way by trying to roll back an ATF rule requiring gun dealers in border states to report when they sell more than one high-caliber rifle to the same buyer in a 5-day period. There is plenty more that we could do. I've introduced legislation to crack down on the straw purchasers that are the first step in taking guns out of the legitimate market and putting them into the hands of traffickers and criminals. Despite its central role, straw purchasing is often treated as a paperwork violation by judges, hamstringing the work of prosecutors and law enforcement. There are other good proposals out there as well. When the House votes tomorrow on largely party lines to hold the Attorney General in contempt, the American people will be no safer. The flood of guns into Mexico will be just as great. And if the vote goes ahead, despite the well-founded assertion of executive privilege, despite the 7,600 pages of documents provided by the Justice Department, despite the 9 appearances by the Attorney General before the Congress, it will show clearly that this has been a political exercise all along. And we will have wasted a tremendous amount of time and energy that could have been better directed towards solving the underlying problem of illegal gun trafficking and mutually destructive trade with Mexico. It is not too late to resolve this among the parties. And at the end of the day, if this vote goes forward, we will see litigation, costly, time-consuming litigation, and the settlement of that litigation will likely be the turning over the same documents the Attorney General has already offered to turn over. Today, I'm joined by a great many wonderful former prosecutors and House members